Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Taking a look at this Miami Hurricanes team as we roll into their spring game Friday night. Just doing a quick preview, talking about things we want to see from this team and certain players that we're looking to stand out on the spring game on Friday. And then again, we'll be back recapping it after it happens. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And personally, I can't thank you guys enough just for all the support you guys have shown, especially as Miami fans, whether we're talking on the field or recruiting. You guys have been incredibly supportive and active, and I can't thank you guys enough. So again, if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be back Friday after the spring game, kind of giving you guys your thoughts. And then more importantly, let me know in the comment section certain players that I need to add to the notebook. Keep an eye on for Friday because, again, you guys teach me a lot too. Give me some little nuggets, and I really do appreciate it. Let's get into what we're looking for, and we're going to start on the offensive side of the ball. That's clearly what you want to see improve for Miami as you head into 2023, right? Josh Gaddis out, and I'll give you guys my quick take on Josh Gaddis. If you guys are longtime listeners, you know how I feel about Josh Gaddis. Josh Gaddis coming over, and I'm a Michigan fan, and so maybe there's an element of me being a little salty that y'all poached him away from us. But Josh Gaddis in 2021 at Michigan, like that offense was not his that had all that success, right? Josh Gaddis came into Michigan saying, we're going to go speed and space, we're going to get the ball out to our wide receivers, and we're going to cook defenses that way. You look at where the success happened for Michigan, 2 tight end sets, power run game. That was Jim Harbaugh's Stanford offense that had all that success. And then Josh Gaddis is getting all the praise for it, comes over to Miami. He had no identity as a play caller, and he comes to Miami, and that's exactly what you saw, right? What was Miami's identity on offense last year? There wasn't any. And I think that was some of the biggest struggles Miami had. I don't think it was the personnel. I think a lot of it had to do with that offensive scheme and play calling. Now, Shannon Dawson coming in, I'm extremely excited to see what this offense looks like. And most importantly, I want to see some more explosive plays. You look at Miami last year, who was their leading receiver last year? It was Will Mallory, your tight end. What does that tell you about the offense? You were not hitting nearly enough explosive plays on the offensive side of the ball last year. And we say this a lot when you're looking at metrics that kind of show how good offenses are. Explosive plays are massive, right? It's so easy to go 4 plays, 70 yards, and score a touchdown. It's really hard to go 12 plays, work the ball down the field 80 yards, and score a touchdown. You got to be able to hit those explosive plays. And Miami just quite frankly could not do that last year. Shannon Dawson at Houston did a phenomenal job, right? Clayton Tune, Tank Dell, they were tearing it up at Houston. I'm really excited to see what Shannon Dawson's doing with this offense, and I want to see some vertical shots. Now, my questions are not with Tyler Van Dyke. I think Tyler Van Dyke's a ball player. You look at him in 2021, he's a phenomenal quarterback. There's a reason why he was mocked in the first round. He has all the talent in the world. I want to see the wide receivers and some of the playmakers on the outside step up. That's probably my biggest concern in terms of personnel for Miami heading into 2023. Frank Ladson was a guy that I was so excited with coming from Clemson last year. Didn't really work out. I still think he can be a gamer, but he wasn't necessarily the guy. Jacoby George, Colby Young, you've heard good things about them during spring. Xavier Estrepo coming back from injury. I think that's the biggest storyline. Now, he's not going to be your explosive playmaker. I think he's good after the catch. He's going to be Tyler Van Dyke's best friend in that short and intermediate game. Who are going to be the wide receivers that step up and work the ball down the field? My eyes are on the true freshmen, the early enrollees, Nathaniel Joseph and Washington. Right, those are the 2 guys that I think have some serious juice. I think there were massive lands for Miami on the 2023 recruiting trail, and it's going to be your first look on how they fit into this offense, especially Nathaniel Joseph. He's got some serious juice working vertically down the field. Can he play a major role in this Miami offense in 2023? Now, I think they have the players on the outside to make this happen. I only want to see Shannon Dawson dial up those shot plays and start hitting some explosive plays because I know Tyler Van Dyke can make the throws. Who on the outside is stepping up, and how are we scheming them open is probably my biggest question and biggest thing I want to see in this Miami spring game on Friday. Now, the second thing you're looking for on the offensive side of the ball is that offensive line, and I think the offensive line is going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of new faces, and who's going to be playing where is probably your biggest question mark, right? Zion Nelson's a guy that I assume won't play. He's been battling injuries. I know he had some procedures in the spring. A guy 2 years ago I had as doing my draft work heading into the season. He was a guy that I had as a first-round talent. Zion Nelson has all the talent in the world. I remember him starting as a true freshman against Florida, and he just looked undersized. But what he had was a phenomenal athleticism. He's put the weight on. Now, can he stay healthy and be kind of that all ACC tackle? I think he can be. Guess what? If he can't, you have plenty of other guys that can step up. But some of the guys you're obviously taking a look on, Javian Cohen and Matthew Lee, too. I love those additions because you might have two true freshmen starting on this offensive line in Pancake Honcho and Francis Mayoga. But you know what you have with Matthew Lee and Javion Cohen on the inside. I think those guys are going to be road graders. And if you want to run the ball, like those are two guys on the interior that are going to be doing some really good things. And I want to see if with Big Pancake Honcho and Francis Mayoga, are those guys ready to start year one? Because I think, sure, coming out of high school, they certainly are. They have the body to. I'm excited to see how they look as true freshmen, early enrollees in the spring game. This offensive line has the potential to be very, very good for Miami. I'm just interested to see where they're playing. Kind of, you have a bunch of good offensive linemen. How are you mixing and matching them to get the best five on the field? That's more my question mark, and just seeing if those true freshmen are ready to play. The running back position, I think you're looking really good. Henry Parrish, you know what you have. Really excited to see Don Chaney come back from injury. And then you have Mark Fletcher coming in. He's not a private school kid, so I'm pretty sure he's not enrolled until the summer. But he's another guy. Mark Fletcher's a dude that's right away as a true freshman can step up and be a gamer. And then another guy I'm looking at, Jaleel Skinner, the second-year kid. I think he has all the potential in the world. Can he step up? I like Elijah Royal. Cam McCormick's a seventh-year guy from Oregon, I believe. But Jaleel Skinner, if you're asking me who has the most juice at that tight end position, I have my eyes on Jaleel Skinner there. Now, on the defense, you head into the spring game, and you're probably not going to see a lot of the guys who are going to be starting for Miami in 2023, right? Leonard Taylor getting a procedure, Akeem Mesidor getting cleaned up, Jafari Harvey. You know what you have in those guys. Those guys are going to be solid. I think Leonard Taylor could be truly special, but Jafari Harvey, Akeem Mesidor, those guys are going to be good. I'm really excited to see some of the young guns in that 2023 class and how they look. Also, the transfer guys. Branson Dean coming over from Purdue. I'm very excited about him. Thomas Gore also, but my eyes are on Jaden Wayne, Ruben Bain. Those are two guys that, again, because you did so well in this 2023 class, you have the potential for a lot of true freshmen to be playing significant amount for Miami on the defensive side of the ball. This front seven, combined with some of those linebackers, Malik Bryant coming in as well, really excited to see how that group looks because it's a deep group. I think it's a very talented group. And it's going to be a nice battle to see that young offensive line with guys like Pancake Honcho and Francis Mayoga going up against some young guys and Ruben Bain and Jaden Wayne too. Really excited to see that battle and see where those guys are. Again, 18-year-old kids probably should still be in high school going to prom. They're out playing for Miami in the spring game, so keep your eye on that battle and see who's kind of stepping up and could be big-time contributors for Miami year one. And then the secondary, the one good thing about Miami last year, they turned the ball over a lot. They didn't get after the passer as well as I think they can, and I think they might in 2023. But I thought they did a really good job turning the ball over. Like Cameron Kitchens just all over the field, getting his hands on balls. James Williams, you'll like a lot too. I like the secondary. They got some speed. They got some playmaking ability. And again, it's a nice little battle to get a feel of, okay, so you have some of these wide receivers you want to step up. You have some guys in the secondary you like a lot. Let's see let's see good on good there. And I think that's what you want to see if you're a Miami fan. Now, getting to kind of the overall state of the program and why I think this is such a big year, specifically on the offensive side of the ball for Miami in 2023, you look at the recruiting battles, right? You miss out on a guy like Aaron Nolan. Why do you think Aaron Nolan decides to go to Ohio State versus Miami? I think it's the quarterback development. I think last year was so tough from a quarterback standpoint. If you're an elite recruit in high school trying to figure out where to go, Ohio State was kind of the no-brainer for a guy like Aaron Nolan compared to Miami and what you saw from Miami in 2022. In 2023, if Shannon Dawson and Tyler Van Dyke can light it up on the offensive side of the ball, that pendulum switches, right? And you're starting to see these quarterbacks look at Miami like this is a spot where I can put up some big-time numbers and be developed into an NFL kind of guy. I think that was the biggest thing they didn't have from a style. You got everything you need in Miami to recruit at a high level. When you're trying to recruit those quarterbacks, though, those guys want to be first-round NFL draft picks. They want to be Heisman Trophy winners. They want to put up big-time numbers. In 2022, that was a season where it's not really inspiring much confidence for a guy like Aaron Nolan to come and commit to Miami and be confident he's going to be developed. If Shannon Dawson and TVD can light it up for Miami, I think that pendulum switches a little bit, and that selling point for, hey, come to Miami, you're going to be developed, you're going to put up big time numbers, and you're going to be an NFL draft pick. I think that suddenly switches that narrative around a little bit and allows Miami to recruit that quarterback position a little bit more. And going back and just kind of touching on this quarterback room one more time, I'm very excited to see Ja'Cory Brown. I've from what I've read on the spring practice notes, he's been absolutely awesome. And this is a dude that raw kid out of high school. Holy smokes, does he have some serious juice? What, 6'4", 215, some absolute burners. He has a good arm. You just got to dial it in more. I think it's a perfect scenario. He sits behind Tyler Van Dyke this year, probably going to be the guy in 2024. How does Ja'Cory Brown look in terms of being that future quarterback for Miami? A couple of really interesting storylines, but this is one of the spring games that you're most excited for because it's a lot of new faces coming into the program. How are they impacting this team in 2023? Now, again, we'll be back recapping the spring game after it happens on Friday. So, again, can't thank you guys enough for all the support. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Come back Friday. We'll talk about what we saw from the Miami game. And again, appreciate all you guys checking this out, and we'll talk to y'all later.